Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're on the way to 12,900 subscribers and please do click that like button. And yeah, if anyone that is in here just early doors can click the like button, bring this channel back to life a little bit. That would be absolutely fantastic. I hope you're all doing well. We've got the Monaco game tomorrow. There's been some interesting news coming out of training today. Mikel Arteta's done his press conference. So we'll talk about that as well. A bit on Dan Ashworth as well, who's making the news. Obviously, basically got sacked from Manchester United. Now he's being linked to Arsenal. Obviously, we have a vacant sporting director role. So we'll talk about that as well. But look, there's loads of you in here. Vivi, Vlad, Hyper, Ethan, Udal, Junior Films, Layla, Fizzy, Ryan, Lukey, Blueprint, Ross Lawman, Vivi, Vlad, Tentego, Pedro, Nid, Jacob, Logical Nonsense, Jay Ward, Kian, Hannah, it is good to see you all. Hi, Rory. Is there any Arsenal Twitter accounts that are actually worth following? Could be funny, stupid, or top content. Need more on my FYP. What do you want? Funny, stupid, top content. No. Who do I follow? Alex from A Different Knock. He's always a good follow. AFC James, he's always a good follow. Yeah, they're decent. They're decent. No, there's loads of good ones. But if you're looking for stupid, there's Lee Gunner. If you want a chuckle, yeah, absolutely. But look, let's crack into the big news coming today from the open training session. So there was an open training session, which is where the media are invited to watch the players train. And in that open session, not only do we still not have Gabriel, Calafiori, Alexander Zinchenko, but we also didn't have Jurriën Timber, and we also didn't have Thomas Partey. So that is, in the open training session at least, White, Tomiyasu, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zinchenko, Jurriën Timber, and Thomas Partey all missing. So that's 6 defenders plus Thomas Partey, who was covered at right back when we've needed him to. That is unfortunate. But I don't think it's panic stations just yet. Yeah, invert the wing after a Tottenham loss. Oh, sensational. Absolutely sensational. Arteta has spoken about that. In fact, we'll bring it up. Arteta has spoken about that. He said this. On players who were missing from training today, we have to manage a lot of the players, so they're probably not going to be fit for tomorrow and are a doubt. I still have 24 hours to make those decisions, and hopefully the right ones. He was asked about dealing with several injuries. He said it is what it is. At the end of the day, if we have to accept the challenge, we have to accept the challenge and its opportunities for other players to do that. In the ideal scenario, we have to be in charge to make those decisions because it's forcing us to make it for the wrong reasons. But as well, we need to accept the reality and move forwards. On how difficult it is to play without a settled back line. Now, already this season, we've played with 9 different back fours. We've started with 9 different back fours already this season. And it is looking like we may well be forced into a 10th different back line tomorrow. That is insane. He said, I'm really happy with the way that we're playing. And the good thing is that it's not conditioning the team in such a way that we have to become a different team. So I'm very pleased with that. The way that the team is adapting, the way players are making the effort in different positions. And hopefully the ideal situation will come up very soon and we can do what we want. So there you go. Look, he's not making excuses. To be fair, Arteta is not making excuses. On if we need to create more chances from open play, he said we want to create more from every angle and from set pieces as well. We could have created more than we did, and we could have scored another 1 or 2. So we're always trying to evolve and be better. And he was asked if the feeling around the place after Fulham is different compared to after previous setbacks. He said, yeah, the more I watch it, to concede what we conceded and how the hell we draw that game, it's difficult to understand, but that's the beauty of football as well. We will adapt, obviously pull our heads up. It was disappointing. It was very emotional as well because scoring the second one and it being disallowed, that was tough. We have to move Every 3 games, it's an opportunity, and we need to keep going. So there you go. That's pretty much everything of note from the press conference. He's not gone into any specifics about any particular players that are going to be missing, but basically just said we have to manage a lot of them, so they're probably not going to be fit for tomorrow and are a doubt. Presumably talking about the players that missed training today. 10 different back fours in 20 games is wild. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. And I think the most we've managed to start with the same back four is 4 games. So the most common back four we've had, we've only managed to have for 4 games. It is mental. Who are we playing on the weekend? We've got Everton at home on Saturday. And Everton have had a 10-day break because they didn't play at the weekend. So, easy game on paper, not an easy game in reality, I would expect. Never thought we'd have defensive issues, to be honest. We could have sold Kivior. Man, I remember sitting here. It's insane. I remember sitting here on these streams towards the end of the transfer window saying, we need to sell a defender. We need to sell a defender because we've got Tierney's never going to be in the squad. And even if we have a fully fit squad, there won't be room for like a Kivior or a Tomiyasu. So we need to sell at least one defender. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I... Because, funnily enough, I didn't anticipate that by December we would have arguably 6 of our best 7 defenders out injured. Which is just like, what can you do about that? What can you do about that? It's insane. Now, in terms of what you can then do, tomorrow, and we'll bring up a bit of FOT mob. These 2 games 0-0 at halftime, by the way. Liverpool drawing 0-0 with Girona at halftime. What was their lineup? Didn't even see it. Alisson's back for them. Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Jones, Salah, Nunez, and Diaz. So there you go. But that is 0-0. But for Arsenal, in terms of what we can do against Monaco tomorrow, this obviously has Partey and Timber in the predicted lineup. If neither of those 2 players are available, and Zinchenko, Gabriel, and Calafiori, and White and Tomiyasu aren't available, I don't know what the back 4 is. And apparently, Josh Nichols was not in training either. So Josh Nichols is the academy player, started against Bolton at right back. But apparently he wasn't in training either. So you go Saliba, Kivior. I mean, the only option is to go Saliba, Kivior, Kieran Tierney at left back, and Miles Lewis-Skelly at right back. Unless you start going, okay, well, we'll put Rice at right back and have a Jorginho, Merino, Ødegaard midfield. It's crazy. It is crazy. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think anyone could have anticipated that. No one could have anticipated. No one could have anticipated 6 of your best 7 defenders being out injured. Now, we don't know for certain that Timber and Partey... One thing I would say is this. Thomas Partey and Jurriën Timber might just be doing their own fitness plan. Because the open session, the open training session, doesn't always feature everyone. It may well be, because, for example, I believe Gabriel is back in training of some description, but he wasn't seen in open training. So it may well be that Timber and Thomas Partey were doing like indoor recovery. Because realistically, for both of them, I think playing every 3 days and then in the off days still doing like full-blown training, I think that's too much. I think the sensible thing to do would be to rest Jurriën Timber as much as physically possible on non-game days. we're playing so frequently that you're going to stay sharp in terms of match sharpness just from the games that you're playing. So my hope is that with Partey and Timber, because they didn't look injured in the game, neither of them looked like they picked up an injury in the game. My hope is that they are available and that they were just being monitored separately. I'm just super scared with Timber's minutes when he's just come back from the ACL. Exactly. But the hope is, right, the club are aware of that as well. And that's what I'm hoping, that he was just, inside doing like pull work or whatever. I'm pretty sure Timber will start. Don't think we need to play Partey tomorrow when Marino can fill in well. Hopefully have Gabby and Calabac for Everton. Yes. Yeah, I would... Look, in terms of what I would do with the rest of the team, I would be going with a midfield of Rice, Marino. Do you know what? I'd be tempted to start Waneri. Erdegaard looked a little bit tired against Fulham. And I think you've got to consider, right? Erdegaard's come back from an injury. He's gone straight into just relentless running and stuff. He's also just had a baby. So I think I would go Rice, Marino, Waneri, Saka, Jesus, which people will find controversial, but I would go Jesus and rest Kai Havertz and then Martinelli. And I think that should still be a strong enough team to win. Don't get me wrong. Monaco have been a very interesting team in the Champions League this season. But I'm looking at this team. They've got Singo and Moissa both suspended. A number of injuries. That is a beatable team, in my opinion. Havertz needs a rest. Martinelli didn't start at the weekend, so he can start. And that's what I would do. Balogun, Hattie. Balogun doesn't even start for them. They start with Mbola. It'll definitely be Erdegaard. I agree. Waneri's not... No, yeah, you're all right. You are all right. Waneri's not going to start. That's just what I would do. But you are right. It'll be Erdegaard. That Josh Robinson was in those training pictures. He's played at right back for the under-21s. There you go, then. There you go. Robinson instead of Nichols, potentially. Would love Kai at left back, just so that they have a left back card in EAFC again. That card was so good last year. It was actually a great card. It was a great card. Balogun's injured. Oh, yeah, Balogun's injured, so he's not going to play anyway. There you go. But yeah, look, they've had a decent... Monaco are on the same number of points as we are. They're on the same number of points that we are, and they're a goal behind us on goal difference. They beat Barcelona 2-1. They beat Red Star 5-1. Fair enough, anyone would. They won away at Bologna 1-0. Solid result. 2-2 against... The hope is that they are really... This Monaco team are very... what's the word? Very simple word that I'm forgetting. They are very inconsistent. So they drew to Dinamo Zagreb, and then they lost at home to Benfica. Now, those are difficult games, and then in the league as well, they beat Toulouse. They're third in the league, which is decent, but it's like beat Toulouse, lost to Marseille, who are above them. I don't know, it's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be an easy game, and managing various things, managing players' minutes, stuff like that, it's difficult. It is difficult. Every game week, this Sterling loan makes less and less. Sorry, every game week, this Sterling loan makes less and less sense. I agree. The Sterling loan is at this point is baffling. Do we know exactly what injuries Gabriel and Calafiori have in terms of body part? My understanding is that Gabriel's been dealing for a while with it's either his quad or his hamstring, one or the other. But he's been dealing with like tightness for a while. And I think whatever game it was where he got subbed off, I think he like tweaked it. No, because he got subbed off When did Gabriel last play? What game was it? Because basically, I think he tweaked it, and it's like my understanding. It was West Ham. Yeah, it was halftime of the West Ham game. He got punched in the head, and people thought he got subbed off because he got punched in the head. But actually, it was to do with something muscular. And Calafiori is his groin. Calafiori is his groin. But again, neither of them are like expected to be any long-term things. I'm fairly sure with Gabriel, in the same way that he did start against West Ham, I'm fairly sure if we were playing a Liverpool or a Man City, Gabriel would start the game. But we're trying to let that little issue heal as best as possible so that he doesn't end up doing more damage to it and then being out for like a month or something like that. Sterling was a panic signing to make the fans a bit happy. Yeah, I think it was. The longer the UCL phase goes on, our draw looks harder and harder. What do you mean, Ethan? Oh, as in like, do you mean like because we got Inter who were second, Atalanta who were fifth, Monaco who are eighth, Sporting who are 10th? Possibly. But then who have we got left? We've only got Monaco, Dinamo, and Girona left. So it's just that it front-loaded. We just played a lot of the difficult teams at the start, in theory. 102 people, 30 likes. You mugs, hit the like. Yeah, if you could hit the like button, honestly, it does make a big, big difference to me. And it is completely free for you. Tierney's Renaissance tomorrow. Well, actually, Mikel Arteta... Sorry, that was part of it I missed. Mikel Arteta did speak about Kieran Tierney. I'm certain he did. He did. On Kieran Tierney, Mikel Arteta said he was asked if there's an opportunity for Kieran Tierney to come back into the team. And he said, yes, he is ready and he's training really well and he's going to have an opportunity for sure with the way the team is looking at the moment. Basically, I mean, that is basically him saying, yes, I have no players left, so he is going to have to get a chance. He said it's for that reason and because he's earned it as well with the way that he's behaved and the way he's been with us, because he's willing to do it. And when that happens, you have to give opportunities to those kind of players. So there you go. Have I got a ticket? I do have a ticket, yeah. There was loads of tickets on the ticket exchange. It's too expensive. For a Champions League game when you've got... It was like 60 quid for a bog standard behind the goal ticket, which... That's why there's so many on the ticket exchange, to be honest. Win the next two at home and we make top 8. Yeah, look, we should make top 8. No doubt about it. We're currently in the top 8 and we have very favourable fixtures. Like, even if we drew tomorrow, if we then went and beat Dinamo Zagreb and beat Monaco, beat Girona, sorry, job done. So yeah, it's fine. Mayo, good to see you. Got a text from Arsenal talking about the tickets that are available. Yeah, they're desperate to sell them. Rory, do you think Timber and Calafiori will be reliable as in availability? Whenever they make contact with an opponent, I physically recoil. Feels like they're made of glass. Timber is not made of glass. I know what you mean. Timber worries me because he just goes full-blooded into everything, right? So the reason that I recoil when it's Timber is because he normally just launches himself into everything. And that's how he got his ACL in the first place. Calafiori is a different one. Calafiori only missed 3 days last season. The whole of last season, Calafiori missed 3 days of football. The issue is he has now come back in. He's now come into a team. A part of it is because of the other injuries that we've got, where as soon as he's fit, he's thrown into the starting 11 and he plays 3 games in 7 days. And he's playing at left back rather than centre back. And it makes you more prone to injuries. Like, if we can solve that problem, I think he'll stop getting injured. It's just, we can't solve that problem at the moment because everyone else is injured. Bad atmosphere tomorrow? Yeah, I expect so. The atmosphere will be grim tomorrow. The fullback role is by far the most demanding role in our system too. Yeah, massively. The amount of running that our fullbacks have to do, the amount of direction changes that our fullbacks have to do, it is the most physically demanding position in the team. And Calafiori's not used to that. So, yeah. I mean, I'm so impressed with the way that Jurriën Timbers handled it, to be honest. I know he's been injured a couple of times, but to be honest, it's very, very normal to get injured the season after an ACL anyway. Let alone when you're being thrown back into a season with constant 90 minutes. Zinni is more annoying? Yeah, Zinni's far more annoying. Zinchenko is far more annoying, and so is Tomiyasu. Ben White has never really been injured before. He's been playing through the same injury for basically a year. So there's not a lot you can do about that. Obviously, Thomas Partey wasn't injury prone when we signed him. That was just unfortunate. Timber being this fit after ACL last year is massive. It's insane. Has Arteta actually said that Partey and Timber are injured? He said it's a decision to be made. Yeah, no. Arteta hasn't mentioned either of them specifically. They weren't pictured in open training, which doesn't mean that they weren't in training at all. It just means that they weren't with the group that went out in front of the media for half an hour. And he said, we have to manage a lot of the players. They're probably not going to be fit for tomorrow and are a doubt. I still have 24 hours to make those decisions. So there you go. He was asked why injuries keep happening. And he said, basically what I've said, it's a knock-on effect. We have a lot of joint injuries that are very difficult to predict. We have some through tackles, for example, that again are quite difficult to predict. The other one is probably overload, the amount of minutes to play. The knock-on effect of not having one or two players means it puts more strain and minutes on somebody else. And that's not a good change because the consequences and load of all of the players start to be too high, much higher than what you would want. But it is where we are. And Man City have the exact same problem. One of the reasons that Man City players keep getting re-injured is the exact same thing. They have a small squad. They have a lot of injuries. The players that aren't injured are having to play every minute, twice a week. So they're fatigued. And then that means that as soon as someone's fit, they come straight back in. They get re-injured. It's just the reality, isn't it? It's difficult. Ideally, we want to be confirmed before Girona. Yeah, ideally, yeah. But look, as long as we get top 8 in the end, however we do it, it doesn't really matter. Tomiyasu's the annoying one. 6 minutes played, and then he's out. We need a defender in January. Yeah, Tomiyasu's crazy. Tomiyasu's crazy. And now he's not even in the country. So, choosing to rest players is different from players not playing because they are injured. Yeah, but how many players is Arteta actually choosing to rest at the moment? Not many. Like, most players that are playing because they have to, especially in the defense. Isn't Monaco doing good? Yeah, Monaco are doing well, yeah. Monaco are on the same number of points as us in the Champions League, and they are third in Ligue 1. So they're having a good season. Anyway, I wanted to talk as well about Dan Ashworth. So he was sacked from Manchester United. Remember, they got him from Newcastle. He was previously at Brighton, I want to say. And before that, he actually worked with Richard Garlick at West Brom. Very well regarded. There was a reason that when Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe came in at Manchester United, they wanted Dan Ashworth. He was seen as one of the best sporting directors you could go and get. They spent a lot of money. They spent £3 million paying Newcastle United. They took Newcastle to court to have his gardening leave reduced. And then they sacked him after 5 months, which is a bizarre thing to do. But now it means that he's on the market. Arsenal are looking for a sporting director still to replace Edu. Richard Garlick is the man effectively leading the recruitment process for the new sporting director. He has a good relationship with Dan Ashworth. And so people are putting two and two together. And there have been articles in The Athletic, everywhere really, linking those things together. I don't think we will. I think it's the case that it's an easy link to make. It's an easy, if you're a journalist, very easy article to make. And a lot of the time, when those sorts of things are easy to do, they don't come true. And I don't think this is one that will come true. The main reason being, Dan Ashworth's not really known for his recruitment. And that is what our sporting director is supposed to do. Dan Ashworth's big thing is coming into a club and really setting up the structure within the club to get the best out of as many people as possible. Well, I don't think we need that. I think our structure is already pretty solid. Recruitment, however, is something that we need to look at. So, yeah, I don't think we'll go and get Dan Ashworth personally. I think it is just the media putting 2 and 2 together, but it would be interesting. I mean, look, he's available, and he is widely regarded as being very good at his job. But then, but then also, he didn't want to get rid of Ten Hag, and then when they did get rid of Ten Hag, or if they were going to get rid of Ten Hag, he wanted supposedly Gareth Southgate, is what the rumours are, and he didn't want Ruben Amorim, which was part of the reason they ended up leaving. So, I don't know. We need a director who can play left back too. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I wonder if I've seen Roberto Carlos knocking around some charity games recently. I wonder what Roberto Carlos is saying. Don't know if he's a sporting director either, to be honest. He's just an ex-player. But if Arsenal bring in Ashworth, we can kiss goodbye to any chance of signing Bruno G or Isak. That's what I thought, right? And some people, because I completely agree, Newcastle United were very, very unhappy with the way that Dan Ashworth left the club, with the way that he kind of publicly pushed through that move. He accidentally, actually, at one point, sent an email to people at Newcastle United saying that he was going to go to Manchester United. So they hate him. And people were saying, well, he's got a good relationship with Isak's reps because of being at Newcastle. It's like, yeah, Newcastle United hate us enough as it is. Like, there's a bitter relationship between the Newcastle hierarchy and the Arsenal hierarchy as it is. Bringing in fucking not Richard Garlick, Dan Ashworth, who they also hate. What? No chance. No chance. Obviously, go nowhere near him, but Overmars could play left back in the day. Yeah, he could. A hybrid director. That's what we need. Rory, are Arsenal and Tottenham seeded on the same side of the bracket of the Carabao Cup? How do you reckon we do in that cup? There's no seedings, are there? I don't think there are any seedings in it. I think there's just another draw. If we get to the semi-finals, I'm pretty sure there's just another draw. I don't think it is seeded. Did you see Saliba long-term deal expected? Yes, yeah. Saliba and Saka will both get new contracts by the end of this season. Money talks. It doesn't matter if they hate him. It's not personal. It's business. To an extent, but I'd love to see Miles Lewis-Skelly start tomorrow. I really think he has a future at the club. Just needs to prove it. Yeah, Miles Lewis-Skelly's just been ill recently. This game tomorrow is huge and kind of a must-win for us with the teams ahead of us playing against each other and tougher opponents. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The Champions League, tonight, you've got Atalanta against Real Madrid. Really interesting game. You've got Bayer Leverkusen against Inter. So Bayer Leverkusen are in 6th and Inter are in 2nd. So at least one of those is going to drop points. Like I said, Atalanta against Real Madrid. They may well drop points. You've also got... that's it, actually. Or Villa away at Leipzig. So Villa could drop points. Villa aren't even still ahead of us, are they, actually? Who else is ahead of us? Dortmund, Barca, and Liverpool. So Dortmund are playing tomorrow. Liverpool, with half an hour to go, Liverpool are still drawing. And then Dortmund play against Barca tomorrow. There you go, yeah. Sorry, yeah. So Dortmund play against Barcelona tomorrow. So, yeah, you're right. It's the teams above us are going to drop points. There's a good opportunity for us there if we beat Monaco tomorrow. Barcelona. Oh, people want to see the Real Madrid lineup versus Atalanta. Real Madrid: Courtois, Vasquez, Tchouameni, Rudiger, and Garcia. Dani Ceballos, Valverde, Bellingham, Vinny Jr., Mbappe, and Brahim Diaz. I mean, it's just not a good team, is it? Like, respectfully, that's just, they've got so many injuries that is just not a good team. And you look at the bench, who are they going to bring off the bench? You know? Okay, you've got Rodrigo, Endrick, and Ardagula, but yeah, crazy. Crazy. And Atalanta are solid. I mean, we went away to Atalanta. We saw how difficult it was. That'll be a good game. That will be a good game. Any other lineups that we care about? Not particularly. Villa. What's Villa's lineup? Full strength. Konza, Carlos, Torres, Digne, Kamara, Tielemans, Cash, Rogers, McGinn, and Watkins. But there we go. Yeah, it's an opportunity for us. It is an opportunity for us. Like, if we win, it puts us on 13 points. If one of Barcelona and Dortmund loses, if it's not a draw, we'll jump ahead of one of them. Depending on what happens with Inter, could technically go ahead of them on goal difference. Yeah, I mean, we could end up in like third by the end of tomorrow, which would be good. Diaz slips and gets a pen. Cheat code. Crazy. Be interesting to see how Sesko does against a Premier League team. Yeah, it will actually. It will actually. The thing I always find with Leipzig is that they create a lot of chances, and between Sesko and Openda, they just don't score enough of them. That's the thing I usually find. Is Calafiori too injury prone? It's difficult to know yet because he wasn't last season. I think he's just being abused. Personally, but it's hard to know. It's hard to know. I'm waiting. Is there a penalty in this game? Is there a penalty in this Liverpool game? I don't know. I don't think Calafiori is injury prone. Yeah, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Interestingly as well today, Mikel Arteta was asked about Gabriel Jesus and whether Gabriel Jesus may leave to go to Brazil in January, and he basically said no. He said that's not going to happen. It would make no sense, is what he said. And I think Gabriel Jesus should start tomorrow. The issue is, I think Gabriel Jesus really feels undervalued at the club. And you can say whether or not that's fair, of course. Yeah, 1-0 Liverpool. Yeah, you can say whether or not that's fair that he feels undervalued. But I think he does. And I think starting him could help. And we've won games with Gabriel Jesus starting this season. And I just think Havertz needs the break. So I would start Gabriel Jesus. I'm so fucking tired of Liverpool and Salah. They always get away and it pisses me off. Got too many smug Liverpool friends who chat way too much. Liverpool fans have been doing my skull in on social media, to be honest. Liverpool fans have been doing my absolute head in on social media. Gabriel Jesus should start, I agree, and prove why he shouldn't be sold in the summer. I still think he should be sold in the summer, but I do think he should be given the opportunity to start. I do. Yeah, Liverpool do seem to just be getting away with a lot recently. They do seem to be getting away with a lot. But look, it's all swings and roundabouts, and it'll even itself out. It will even itself out. With Real Madrid falling, Bayern not exactly flying, and Pep out of depth, UCL is within reach. The Champions League is well within reach. And by the way, like, not even joking, it's plausible. It is plausible that you end up with you could end up with Bayern or Man City playing against like a Real Madrid or a Juve in the knockout round. It's very possible we end up with two of those big teams actually playing against each other in the playoffs if they don't get top 8. And that would be huge. That would be absolutely huge. I mean, Man City have got a difficult game tomorrow against Juventus. How is that a pen? I don't know. I've not seen the penalty, to be fair, but I really do think seeing Jesus in centre mid double pivot in certain home games, let him ping the ball around and link up, find his confidence. I don't know. I don't know if he's got the physical ability to do it anymore. I don't know. I don't know what the solution to him is, but would you rather a UCL or a PL? I kind of want PL since I haven't seen us win it. Oh, no. Champions League. Champions League. You've never seen us win a Champions League either. None of us have ever seen a Champions League. 100%. 100% Champions League. Is Rice out for Everton on too many yellows? No. No. This is a common misconception that I have seen people saying on social media, that Declan Rice is suspended for Everton because of 5 yellow cards. Not true. Not true. The reason being, 2 of those 5 yellow cards were the 2 that he got when he got sent off against Brighton. A double yellow card, because you get sent off for it, ends up counting as 0 for the 5 yellow card accumulation. So he's actually only on 3. He's on 3 yellow cards, 2 away from suspension. Somehow, I'm pretty sure that the only Arsenal player, I'm fairly sure, that's on 4 bookings somehow is Gabriel Jesus, which is insane. Let me just try and find it. Where is it? Discipline. Yeah, yellow card. Yeah, the only Arsenal player currently 1 booking away from suspension is Gabriel Jesus. So, crazy. And then you've got Rice, Saka, Jorginho, and Jurriën Timber that are all on 3. So they're 2 away. Remember, it resets after game week 19. So they've only got to avoid the ones that are on 3. Like, Jesus getting suspended doesn't really matter. And then the ones that would matter, Saka, Rice, Timber, they just need to avoid getting 2 more bookings within the next 5 games. 4 games. 4 games or 5 games? 4 games. 4 games. So that should be fine. What happened to 22-23 Jesus? Like, partially injuries, but it can't just be down to injuries. I think a big part of it is motivation. I think when he arrived at Arsenal, he left Man City because he wanted to be the main man. He joined Arsenal. He was the main man. And he's lost that now. And he's lost his mojo. I honestly think that's a massive factor, unfortunately. No, it's 4. We've played 15 games. And it resets after the 19th game. So 16, 17, 18, and 19. And realistically, Rice, Saka, Timber, they shouldn't be getting booked against teams like Everton and Ipswich. So, do you think we should rotate against Everton, considering the pack fixture schedule? No. We can't afford to rotate in the league anymore. We just can't. If we are going to rotate at any point, I'd rather do it against Ipswich. I think Everton are going to be well up for this game. I think they're going to be well up for it. Jesus needs the Havertz treatment from last year. Yeah, but I don't think he responds to it. He's too old. He hasn't got that, like, fire in his belly that a young player has anymore. He's won plenty of things. I just think it's gone, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, look, it is now time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right was the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. So get your fingers on your keyboards, because we are starting now. Also, please do click a like on the video. This player started their career at the Borussia Dortmund Youth Academy. Started their career at the Borussia Dortmund Youth Academy. They went to Rot-Weiss Aalen. They then went to Borussia Mönchengladbach. They went permanently to Borussia Mönchengladbach. They then went permanently back to Borussia Dortmund. And then they went to LA Galaxy. So the Dortmund Youth Academy, Rot-Weiss Aalen, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Dortmund, LA Galaxy. And the answer, which I think some people probably just guessed after Borussia Dortmund Youth Academy, was indeed Marco Reus. And Ethan Udall got it first. Kian got it second. Junior Films got it third. Dr. Shikar got it 4th. And Ryan Henderson got it 5th. There we go. It was indeed Marco Reus. Congratulations. Look, that's going to be the end of the stream. We'll be on Twitch later. And then we will be not live tomorrow because I'm going to be at the game. But we should be live on Thursday. So that is when we'll be live. Goal given. VAR goal given. Kian, you might have been first on your screen, but unfortunately, once the internet gets involved, on my screen, you came through in second. But yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Enjoy the Champions League football, and I'll see you on Twitch, or I will see you all on Thursday. Until then, goodbye.